This is an overview of MasterBudget. This online application allows you to create budgets for USAID grants without having to use Excel. To start, go to the Customer Sign In Here menu, click on Register and provide the information requested, including a valid email account. You will receive an email with the instructions to activate your account. Remember to clear the masterbudget.com domain in your email security settings to ensure you get the email. After activating your account, go back and sign in. The username will be your email account. After accessing the application, you will find two main menus. Under the Administration menu, you will find the components of the budget in the form of lists. The first one is a list of users. Simply add the email of a user you want to invite to your company or create a user from scratch. You will need minimum 3 users to start with. Since creating an account is free, the best practice is to let your users create their own account first and then invite them to your company. The second list allows you to create groups of lines to be assigned to a preparer. The next one is a list of line names commonly used. Each line has a name, line type, and a description. The description is the budget narrative. Add a generic description here to guide the budget preparer. The next ones are a list of donors, countries, budget templates, source of funds, sector, program elements or strategic objectives, and the last one is a list of units of measure. Remember that each list can be customized. With this list, we complete the Administration menu. Now let's see the Budget menu. This is where action happens. First, create your budget by providing name, awardee, currency, starting and ending date, country, and donor for your project. Then, activate the allocation feature if you need to disaggregate level of effort for salaries or operational expenses. Consider using the inflation rate if your project is 2 years or longer. Select the funding source by moving the items to the box on the right. Double-click on them or use the arrows. The order in which they appear in the right box is the same order they will show in your Excel file. Select the program elements in the same way and then assign the users that will complete the budget. Let's talk a little bit about the users. The list of users is the same you have in the Admin menu. Double-click on any of them to assign a role. The roles available for each user are: Preparer, can be as many as needed, but one is mandatory. The Initial Reviewer is one per project, and it is mandatory. The Initial Approver, HQ Finance Manager, and Final Reviewer are only one per project and are not mandatory. Use them as needed. The Final Approver is one per project, and it is mandatory. To set up a user as Preparer, click on the line types you want to assign to that user. After that, select a level of authorization for that user by clicking on the Create, Modify, or Delete options. For an Initial Reviewer, double-click on the user, then select the role Initial Reviewer. A similar action is required for the Final Approver. After this process is done, click Save to complete the creation of your budget. The next step is to assign periods to the budget. Go to the Budget menu and submenu Period. Choose your project and the number of periods you want it to have. Then assign an ending date and the inflation rate for each period. The inflation rate can be changed later on, so no worries if you are not sure about the final figure yet. After having your budget and periods, it's necessary to create the budget line structure. This step provides the categories, subcategories, and lines to input data. To get there are two ways. The first one is to use a template. To do that, go to the Budget menu, submenu Lines, and choose the project you are working on. Then click Select Budget Template. Choose the template you want to use and select. The structure will be added automatically to your budget and you can modify it as needed. The second option is to create a budget line structure from scratch. To do that, click on the plus symbol on the lines list and add a code and a name to the category, subcategory, or line you want to create. Use 1 digit to create the main categories, like direct or indirect costs. Use 2 digits to create categories and subcategories, and use 7 digits to create the budget line. To choose a name for the line, use Available Lines by clicking on the drop-down menu, or click the plus symbol to create a line name. Then click on Add. To create a budget line, the one with 7 digits, click on the plus symbol in front of the parent account, then provide a code, name, and unit of measure. Let's see now how to enter data on each line. To do that, the user assigned as preparer to this budget must log in and choose the project to work on. The preparer doesn't have access to the main menus and will see only the lines assigned by the administrator of the budget. The preparer can generate a report by clicking on the Excel icon to the right. To input data, click on the icon in front of the line you want to work on and it will take you to this screen. In here, edit the description, which is the budget narrative. If this line is affected by inflation, click Yes on inflation rate and save. To add value to each period, click on the period you want to work on and the section will expand as follows. In here, provide the required information and click Save. Totals are calculated automatically. When ready, submit to the first reviewer. After submission, you won't be able to make any changes. The initial reviewer will receive an email alert about your submission. The initial reviewer logs in, reviews the lines, and approves or rejects each one of them with comments. If rejected, the line will go back to the preparer. The preparer will receive an email with the notification. The preparer logs in, checks the comment, takes action, and resubmits. This process happens until the final approver approves the final budget. All users except the preparers will have access to the full budget all the time. The green lines indicate they are approved. When the final approver is satisfied, the budget is approved and can't be modified anymore. Let's talk about the kind of reports the system provides. Reports can be generated at any time during the process using the Budget Reports menu or the Excel icon in front of the budget. Select the project and choose the period. If you need to convert the budget to a different currency, click on Use Other Currency and provide the exchange rate. Then click on Generate Report and you will see it on your screen. Using the report on the screen, if you need to inspect a particular line, right-click on the line and click Modify. It will take you to the line information. Make the changes you need, save and click back to return to the updated report. To generate reports in Excel, simply click on Export Period or Export All Periods and you will see an Excel file at the bottom of your screen. The file has one tab per period, the detailed LOA, and the budget narrative. The name of the file indicates the country, project name, date, and time of generation to facilitate version control. The file doesn't have external links, and each line has the formulas built in case you need to do a last-minute change without going back to the system. Make final formatting details as needed, and your budget is ready to go, formula error-free. To log out from the system, go to the upper right corner and click on Log Out. These are some best practices when using the system. Use the first digit to separate the main categories, direct costs and indirect costs. Then click on the plus symbol in front of them to add subcategories. Since each subcategory becomes a subtotal, create only the most relevant so your budget doesn't end up with too many subtotals. Use capital letters for categories and subcategories and common letters for budget lines. This will facilitate the reading of your budget. When creating the codes for each line, leave some numbers empty just in case you need to add a line in between. For example, instead of going from 01, 02, 03, go from 05, 10, 15, and 20. I hope you found this explanation useful. If you want to try with some existing data, use the username demo@demo.com and password demo to access the budget as the final approver. You won't be able to change anything, but you will get familiar with the application. Thank you.